Listen carefully. The greatest mistake you can ever make is placing everyone else's needs above your own while ignoring your own growth. If you are not your own priority, no one will make you theirs. Life respects only those who respect themselves first. Success begins in the mind. Control your thoughts, discipline your emotions, and refuse to let fear or doubt dictate your path. If your mind is weak, every excuse will find you. But if your mind is strong, every obstacle will bow to you. Distractions are the silent killers of destiny. Social media, gossip, comfort, procrastination, they look small, but they rob you of years. Cut them off. Protect your time like treasure, because that is exactly what it is. Remember this truth: hard work is the seed, and discipline is the water. Nothing grows in the soil of laziness. The price of greatness is always paid in sweat, sacrifice, and focus. Stop waiting for luck. Build your own fortune brick by brick. Be ruthless with your environment. If your circle doesn't challenge you, it chains you. You cannot fly with people who are comfortable crawling. Distance yourself from weakness. Draw close only to those who demand more from life. Clarity of purpose is the fire in the furnace of achievement. When you know exactly what you want, distractions lose their power. A clear goal transforms confusion into determination. Write your vision, speak it to yourself daily, and let it dominate your actions. Persistence is the mark of champions. You will fall, you will fail, you will face rejection. But failure is never final until you surrender. Stay in the fight long enough, and even your enemies will respect your endurance. And finally, build in silence. Stop announcing, stop proving. Let your results roar so loud that words become unnecessary. The world respects the finished product, not the unfinished promise. So today, decide, be your own priority. Focus on yourself. Work harder than you ever imagined. Refuse distraction. Demand persistence. Guard your mind, your time, and your vision. Because in the end, the only person responsible for your success is staring back at you in the mirror. Self-priority is non-negotiable. If you dare to put yourself last, the world will never hesitate to keep you there. Life will treat you exactly the way you allow it to treat you. When you neglect your own growth, your own health, your own mind, and your own goals, you are silently giving permission to everyone else to do the same. And when you finally realize what has been lost, years will already be gone, wasted on pleasing others, on chasing approval, on sacrificing your dreams for people who were never invested in your destiny. Make no mistake, this is not selfishness. This is survival. The person who cannot prioritize themselves cannot contribute at their highest level to anyone else. How can you give strength to others when you are weak? How can you lead when you are lost? How can you provide when you are empty? The truth is simple. Self-priority is the foundation of power. Without it, everything else collapses. Too many people live their lives like background characters in their own story. They cater to opinions, to expectations, to obligations that drain them of time and energy. They work endlessly to keep others satisfied, while their own potential rots inside them untouched. That is why mediocrity is everywhere, because people have chosen comfort over courage, obligation over ambition, and distraction over discipline. To rise, you must reverse that pattern. You must declare to yourself that your growth comes first. You must demand from yourself the right to focus, to work, to dream, and to build without apology. Because until you treat your own life as the most important project you will ever manage, you will remain at the mercy of other people's priorities. Understand this: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to put you on the throne of your destiny. No one will hand you discipline, clarity, or courage. If you wait for permission, you will wait forever. Life rewards those who take control, those who stand firm and say, I will put myself first because my future demands it. When you choose self-priority, everything changes. Your time becomes sacred. You no longer waste it on gossip, on meaningless scrolling, on people who do not value your presence. You begin to protect your energy as if it were gold. You learn to say no without guilt. You stop explaining yourself to those who do not understand your vision. Every no to the unimportant becomes a powerful yes to your mission. Self-priority means you take care of your body, because a broken body cannot carry a strong dream. It means you take charge of your mind, because a distracted mind will betray you when focus is required. It means you invest in your growth, your skills, and your future, even when others laugh, even when others doubt, even when the results are not immediate, because you know everything great takes time, and nothing great comes to those who waste their energy on the unnecessary. There will always be people who do not understand why you are so focused, so disciplined, so distant from the noise. They will call you selfish. Let them. What they call selfishness, you know as strength. What they call obsession, you know as commitment. What they call arrogance, you know as clarity. They will see only the sacrifices, but one day they will also see the results. And when that day comes, the very people who doubted you will admire the discipline that once offended them. Self-priority requires courage, because it will separate you from the crowd. It will demand that you walk alone at times. But understand this, loneliness is temporary. Growth is permanent. While others waste their nights, you will be building your mornings. While others chase approval, you will be chasing mastery. While others are busy fitting in, you will be busy standing out. The reward for self-priority is freedom, the freedom to live life on your terms, the freedom to choose your path, the freedom to say no to mediocrity and yes to greatness. And the cost of that freedom is focus, discipline, and sacrifice. Do not run from that cost. It is the best investment you will ever make. So from this moment forward, remember, you are not here to live as a shadow of someone else's dream. You are here to build, to rise, to conquer. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop deluding your ambition to make others comfortable. Stop betraying yourself just to earn the acceptance of those who do not matter. Self-priority is non-negotiable. Choose yourself. Focus relentlessly. Work harder than you have ever worked before. Protect your time, guard your mind, and demand excellence from yourself daily, because in the end, your future will not be built by anyone else. It is your hands, your mind, your persistence, and your discipline that will shape it. And if you are not willing to prioritize yourself, then you will spend your life building the dreams of those who do. The choice is yours. Be your own priority or be forgotten in the noise of those who dared to be. Control your mind or your mind will control you. That is the unbreakable law of life. Every action, every decision, every success or failure begins in the battlefield of your thoughts. If you lose there, you lose everywhere. But if you conquer there, nothing in the outside world can defeat you. Most people do not realize this truth. They believe circumstances, luck, or the opinions of others shape their destiny. But destiny is not written by chance, it is written by thought. Every invention, every achievement, every empire, every fortune started as an idea in the mind of a human being who had the discipline to control it. The weak mind creates excuses. The strong mind creates results. Your mind is both your greatest weapon and your greatest enemy. Uncontrolled, it is dangerous. It feeds you fear, it whispers doubt, it drags you into procrastination. It exaggerates problems, magnifies weaknesses, and blinds you to opportunity. It will talk you out of greatness and convince you to settle for average. But controlled, your mind becomes a furnace of power. It focuses, it directs, it sharpens your energy into a weapon that cuts through resistance. Control of the mind begins with discipline of thought. You cannot allow every passing doubt, fear, or distraction to take root inside you. Thoughts are like seeds. If you plant weeds, weeds will grow. If you plant power, power will grow. Most people water the weeds every single day. They repeat their fears. They replay their failures. They rehearse their limitations until weakness becomes their identity. And then they wonder why their lives look the same year after year. To rise, you must take command. You must stand guard at the door of your mind and allow only what strengthens you to stay. That means replacing doubt with faith, replacing fear with courage, replacing excuses with action. When the thought of quitting comes, you replace it instantly with the thought of persistence. When the thought of weakness comes, you destroy it with the thought of strength. This is not easy, but it is the price of mastery. Every champion has mastered this skill. They may not be stronger, smarter, or more gifted than the rest, but they have the ability to direct their mind toward victory when everyone else is drowning in negativity. The world will test you. People will insult you. Failure will strike you. Obstacles will tempt you to surrender. But if your mind remains unshaken, nothing can break you. You must also feed your mind the right material. Just as your body is shaped by the food you eat, your mind is shaped by the information you consume. If you fill it with trash, you will produce trash. If you fill it with wisdom, power, and clarity, your life will mirror that strength. Be ruthless about what you allow in. Read what strengthens you. Listen to what uplifts you. Surround yourself with voices that fuel your growth, not those that poison it. Control also requires focus. The scattered mind is weak. It chases 100 things and masters none. But the disciplined mind locks onto one clear purpose and drives relentlessly toward it. Focus is rare in this world of endless distraction, but it is the ultimate superpower. The individual who can ignore noise, resist temptation, and devote their energy to one burning goal will always outlast the unfocused masses. And remember, your emotions are servants of your thoughts. When your mind is chaotic, your emotions are unstable. That is why people live in constant frustration, anger, fear, and anxiety. They have surrendered the control of thought. But when you control your mind, you control your emotional state. You remain calm under pressure, confident in chaos, unshaken in storms. That is the mark of mastery, not a life without challenge, but a mind unbroken by challenge. Persistence in this practice is vital. Controlling your mind is not a one-time act, it is a daily battle. Every morning you wake up with two choices: to let your thoughts wander like wild animals, or to discipline them into alignment with your purpose. Day after day, this choice determines whether you rise to greatness or sink into mediocrity. Do not underestimate the cost of neglect. A weak, uncontrolled mind is the fastest path to wasted potential. You will talk yourself out of opportunities. You will sabotage your progress. You will accept less than you deserve. And worst of all, you will live as a prisoner of your own thoughts. That is not life. That is slow death. But the reward for control is limitless. When you control your mind, you control your destiny. You develop clarity others lack. You see opportunity where others see failure. You remain disciplined while others surrender to weakness. You are no longer a victim of circumstance. You are a creator of circumstance. So decide today your mind is yours to master. Refuse to let fear, doubt, or distraction live inside you rent-free. Refuse to allow weakness to dominate your inner world. Take command, direct your thoughts, feed your vision, focus your energy, and discipline your emotions. Because the one who controls his mind controls his future, and the one who loses his mind loses everything. Cut distractions ruthlessly, or they will cut down your destiny. Every wasted moment, every careless habit, every useless distraction is stealing from your future while you sit blind to the theft. The truth is not complicated. Your success or failure depends on how fiercely you protect your focus. If you allow noise to invade your life, don't be surprised when mediocrity takes its place at the table. Distraction is the enemy of greatness. Look around. Those people live scattered lives, glued to screens, addicted to instant gratification, consumed by gossip, overwhelmed by endless noise. They wonder why they feel lost, why they never achieve, why their dreams never move beyond the stage of imagination. The answer is simple. They traded their vision for distraction, their time for comfort, their potential for nothing. Greatness demands isolation from what does not serve it. If you want to rise, you cannot afford to indulge in every notification, every invitation, every meaningless conversation that drags you away from your mission. Every second spent on what doesn't matter is a second stolen from what does. You must be ruthless, cold-blooded in cutting it out. Your life depends on it. Do not lie to yourself about balance. Distractions do not balance you, they bury you. They seduce you with the illusion of rest while draining the very energy required to build your future. They promise entertainment but deliver emptiness. They promise relief but leave you heavier with regret. You must see distractions for what they are. Weapons designed to keep you average, traps built to keep you small. The champions of this world are not the most talented, not the luckiest, not even the smartest. They are the most focused. They chose sacrifice. They chose discipline. They chose to cut out every single thing that did not align with their purpose. While others slept, they worked. While others scrolled, they studied. While others wasted time, they built. That is why they stand on stages while the distracted clap from the shadows. Ask yourself, how much of your life has already been stolen by distractions? How many hours have you surrendered to meaningless scrolling? How many dreams have you delayed because you could not say no to comfort? How many times have you promised yourself change only to be dragged back into the trap of noise? Enough is enough. Time does not wait. Your destiny does not wait. Every day you waste is gone forever. Cutting distractions ruthlessly means being willing to offend, to be misunderstood, to walk alone if necessary. People will not understand why you distance yourself from parties, from empty conversations, from shallow entertainment. They will call you boring. They will say you have changed. Good. That is the price of transformation. You are not here to entertain their comfort. You are here to build your empire. It also means controlling your environment. If your phone pulls you into weakness, lock it away when you work. If certain people waste your energy, distance yourself without apology. If habits like television, endless social media, or late-night indulgence are stealing from you, cut them out with the sharpness of a blade. Do not negotiate with distraction. It will always win. Eliminate it completely. Focus is rare, and because it is rare, it is powerful. The one who can concentrate while others scatter will always rise. The one who can work while others waste time will always win. The one who can silence the noise and channel every ounce of energy into a goal will always outdistance the crowd. You do not need to be a genius. You only need to be disciplined enough to refuse distraction. Understand this. The world is designed to distract you. Billions are spent to steal your attention, to keep you addicted, to keep you weak. If you don't fight back ruthlessly, you will lose by default. That is why you must make war on distraction. Guard your time like treasure. Guard your energy like a warrior. Guard your vision like a king protecting his throne. And do not fool yourself with excuses. Do not say, I will cut distractions tomorrow. Tomorrow is already promised to distraction. The war begins now, right now, in this very moment. Every time you choose focus over noise, you strengthen your future. Every time you resist temptation, you sharpen your power. Every time you cut one more distraction from your life, you step closer to the person you were meant to become. Yes, it will be difficult. Yes, you will feel restless. Yes, you will feel like you are missing out. But understand this, the only thing you are missing out on is regret. The only thing you are losing is wasted years. The only thing you are leaving behind is weakness. What you gain in return is priceless. Clarity, progress, achievement, destiny. So do not hesitate. Do not negotiate. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Cut distractions ruthlessly starting now. Build walls around your focus. Lock yourself inside your mission. Work like your life depends on it, because it does. At the end of your life, you will not remember the hours you spent scrolling, the parties you attended, or the gossip you listened to. You will remember whether you built something that mattered, whether you achieved what you were capable of, whether you lived true to your potential. And that will only happen if you cut distractions and protect your focus with everything you have. Cut distractions ruthlessly. Focus relentlessly. Work obsessively, because destiny will not wait and distraction will not stop. The only question is, will you conquer it or will it conquer you? Work is the seed of power. Without work, nothing grows. Without sweat, no dream survives. Without sacrifice, no success can stand. Every fortune, every invention, every empire you admire was watered with long hours of relentless effort. Power does not come from wishing, waiting, or hoping. Power is born only when you bury yourself in work so deep that the world has no choice but to notice your results. The lazy will tell you stories of luck. They will point to talent, privilege, or chance. They will pretend that those at the top were simply chosen. But strip away the excuses and you will see the truth. Behind every great accomplishment is a mountain of unseen labor. The late nights, the early mornings, the repetition, the grind, the persistence that no one applauds, that is the seed, that is the soil, that is the root of all achievement. Do not deceive yourself. Your desire alone means nothing. Everyone desires, everyone dreams, everyone talks of success. But desire without work is delusion. The world does not reward what you want, it rewards what you do. The only proof of seriousness is action. The only language success understands is effort. Work is not punishment. Work is transformation. When you commit yourself to labor with discipline and consistency, you do more than build skill. You build character. You sharpen your mind. You harden your spirit. You turn yourself into someone worthy of the results you seek. That is why shortcuts never last. The man who cheats the process cheats himself. He may taste success for a moment, but without the strength forged through work, he cannot hold it. Think of work as planting. Each hour of focus, each day of persistence, each task completed is a seed buried in the soil of your future. At first, the ground looks empty. Nothing seems to change. You may feel foolish, planting while others laugh, while others play. But keep planting, keep watering, keep showing up, because the harvest belongs only to those who endure the season of invisibility. And when the harvest comes, the same people who doubted you will wonder how you rose so high so fast. They will not see the years of work beneath the surface, but you will know the seed was always there. Work also separates the pretenders from the serious. Anyone can talk about goals, anyone can write down dreams, but few have the stamina to pay the price daily. That is why greatness is rare, because the discipline required to earn it is rare. If you are willing to work when others rest, to push when others quit, to sacrifice when others indulge, you immediately place yourself in the top tier of humanity. Effort is the great equalizer. It erases excuses. It destroys limitations. It makes kings out of ordinary men. But do not confuse activity with work. Work is not busyness. Work is purposeful effort directed toward your vision. Many waste their lives in meaningless motion, mistaking it for progress. Real work is laser focus. Real work is cutting away distraction, resisting temptation, and devoting yourself to what matters most. It is building brick by brick, day after day, without losing sight of the structure you are creating. The truth is simple. You cannot cheat the grind. The gym will expose those who haven't trained. The marketplace will expose those who haven't studied. The stage will expose those who haven't prepared. Life is merciless in this way. It reveals whether you have done the work or not, and there is no way to fake it. You either paid the price or you didn't. There will be times when the work feels endless, when progress seems invisible, when doubt screams louder than hope. That is the critical moment. Most surrender there. Most decide the price is too high. But champions push through. They understand that the darkest nights are always before the sunrise. They know that consistency always beats intensity. They know that results are inevitable when the work is relentless. Work also earns respect. People may doubt your words, but they cannot doubt your results. They may question your ambition, but they cannot question your consistency. The loudest voice in the world is not the voice that talks. It is the life that shows undeniable proof through effort. Results cannot be argued with. Results silence critics. Results are the echo of work well done. So treat work as sacred. Build your day around it. Protect your hours like gold. Do not waste time waiting for motivation. Discipline yourself into action. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. If you can work when you don't feel like it, if you can push when every muscle begs you to quit, if you can stay committed when boredom or frustration strike, then you have discovered the true source of power. And remember, nothing worthwhile comes without labor. You cannot harvest in the same season you plant. You cannot demand results before you've earned them. Be patient, trust the process, trust the grind, because every ounce of effort you give is stored in the vault of time, waiting to return to you multiplied. Work is the seed of power. Plant it daily. Water it with discipline. Protect it with persistence. Refuse distraction. Reject excuses, because in the end, power will not be handed to you. It will grow from the seeds you planted when no one was watching. Work is the foundation. Work is the proof. Work is the path. And if you dare to commit yourself fully to it, you will discover what few ever do, the unstoppable power of a life built on relentless effort. Guard your circle as if your life depends on it, because it does. The people around you will either push you forward into greatness or pull you down into mediocrity. No one walks alone. Every destiny is influenced, shaped, and either strengthened or weakened by the company it keeps. If you walk with losers, you will lose. If you walk with the average, you will settle for average. But if you surround yourself with people of discipline, focus, and ambition, you cannot help but rise. Your circle is not just a group of friends. It is a reflection of your standards. Who you spend time with reveals what you expect from yourself. Look closely at the people you allow in your life. Do they inspire you, or do they drain you? Do they challenge your excuses, or do they encourage them? Do they celebrate your growth, or do they feel threatened by it? The answers to those questions reveal more about your future than your intentions ever will. Weak circles breed weak lives. Most people stay trapped in mediocrity not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they refuse to separate from those who keep them small. They fear being alone more than they fear being stuck. They mistake loyalty to toxic people for strength, when in truth it is weakness. You cannot build an empire while entertaining people who are comfortable living in ruins. Guarding your circle means raising your standards. It means refusing to tolerate gossip, laziness, excuses, and negativity in your environment. Every conversation either feeds your spirit or poisons it. Every relationship either adds value or subtracts it. You cannot drink poison daily and expect to thrive. If you want to rise, you must cut off what weakens you, no matter how familiar, no matter how comfortable. Do not apologize for distancing yourself from those who refuse to grow. Their comfort is not your responsibility. Their excuses are not your burden. Their refusal to change is not your obligation to carry. You must protect your focus like a warrior protects his weapon. Because one negative voice in your circle can undo months of progress in your mind. One careless friend can plant doubt that kills your ambition. One toxic presence can waste years of your life if you let it. And understand this, guarding your circle is not only about removing the wrong people, it is about deliberately choosing the right ones. Seek out those who make you uncomfortable in the best way. Surround yourself with people who are ahead of you, stronger than you, more disciplined than you. Place yourself among those who expose your weakness, not those who excuse it. True growth happens when your circle forces you to rise to their standard. Look at any champion, any leader, any giant of history. They all built powerful circles. They knew that greatness cannot thrive in isolation. They knew that influence is contagious. They chose to breathe the air of strength, focus, and ambition. They eliminated the weak voices and built networks of power. That is why their impact reached beyond themselves. They multiplied their influence through the strength of their circle. But this requires courage. It is not easy to walk away from familiar faces, from childhood friends, from people who once meant everything. Yet you must decide what matters more, your past or your future. Your circle is not about where you came from. It is about where you are going. And if the people around you are not going where you are headed, they cannot walk with you. Some will call you arrogant for protecting your circle. Let them. What they call arrogance is clarity. What they call selfishness is wisdom. You are not obligated to lower your standards to make others comfortable. You are obligated to protect your destiny from every force that seeks to weaken it. When you guard your circle, everything changes. Your conversations shift from gossip to goals. Your environment shifts from negativity to discipline. Your energy shifts from wasted to focused. Your vision sharpens because the people around you sharpen it. Together, you become unstoppable. And the beauty is this. When you raise your standards and build a strong circle, you inspire others to do the same. You show them what is possible. You prove that life is too short to waste in the company of mediocrity. You become an example of what happens when someone refuses to compromise their environment. So guard your circle with the same ferocity that you guard your dreams. Remove without hesitation, choose without apology, and build without compromise. Because your circle is either your greatest weapon or your greatest weakness. At the end of your life, you will not regret losing the company of those who laughed at your ambition. You will regret every moment wasted with those who held you back from becoming who you could have been. Guard your circle now, and your future self will thank you forever. Guard your circle as if everything depends on it, because everything does. Clarity of purpose is the spark that sets everything on fire. Without it, you drift like a ship with no compass, tossed by every wave, lost to every wind. But when you know exactly what you want and why you want it, you become unstoppable. You wake up with energy. You work with direction. You endure with patience. Nothing distracts you because you see only the destination, and every step takes you closer. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack clarity. They chase 10 different goals half-heartedly and wonder why nothing works. They start and stop, try and quit, change directions 100 times, never sticking long enough to see results. A confused purpose produces a confused life. Until you decide where you are going, every road looks right, and every distraction steals your time. Clarity of purpose demands decision. You cannot play with 20 options and expect greatness. You must decide. Decide what matters. Decide what you will build. Decide what you will die for if necessary. That decision gives birth to power. The moment you declare, "This is my vision, this is my mission, this is what my life will stand for," the fog lifts and the path appears. Opportunity does not reveal itself to the indecisive. It reveals itself to the committed. And do not confuse purpose with wish. Wishes are soft. Purpose is hard. A wish dies when challenged. Purpose survives fire. A wish changes with mood. Purpose remains even when the world says no. That is why so many live frustrated lives. They wish for success, but never decide to dedicate themselves fully to a purpose worth the fight. When you gain clarity, excuses vanish. Distractions lose their grip. You no longer need to be forced to work. The work pulls you forward. Energy that once scattered across meaningless tasks now concentrates like a laser. That laser cuts through resistance. That is why clarity is power. You do not fight blindly anymore. You strike directly, precisely, effectively. But clarity comes with sacrifice. To say yes to one path, you must say no to 1,000 others. That is the price. Most are unwilling to pay it. They want every option open. They want every door available. But the man who refuses to close doors never walks through one. You cannot master everything. You must choose. And when you choose, you give yourself the gift of focus. The greatest achievers are ruthless about purpose. They do not waste years wandering. They pick a mission and pour themselves into it. They let go of distractions. They endure setbacks without confusion because the destination is clear. They are not wondering if they should continue. They are only asking how to continue. That is clarity. If you lack clarity, stop everything and decide. Ask yourself, what do I want? Why do I want it? Who do I want to become? If your answer is weak, your future will be weak. But if your answer is strong, every obstacle becomes fuel. When your why is clear, the how becomes irrelevant. When your vision burns inside you, no difficulty can extinguish it. Clarity of purpose also simplifies life. Stress often comes from trying to please everyone, trying to do everything, trying to live by other people's expectations. But when you know your purpose, you stop explaining, you stop apologizing, you stop bending to opinions, you move with certainty. You know who you are, where you are going, and why you will not quit. That certainty intimidates the weak but inspires the strong. And do not think clarity arrives by accident. It must be created. You create it by reflection, by writing your vision, by daring to say out loud what you truly want. It demands honesty. Many never find clarity because they lie to themselves about what they want, afraid of judgment, afraid of failure. But you cannot build a great life on lies. Be brutally honest with yourself about your purpose. Only then can you chase it with fire. When you live with clarity, even failure serves you. Every setback teaches you how to adjust, how to refine, how to get closer. Without clarity, failure destroys you because you had no anchor. With clarity, failure strengthens you because you know the destination has not changed. It is only the strategy that shifts. At the end of your life, clarity will matter more than talent, more than luck, more than opportunity. The man with talent but no purpose wastes his gift. The man with opportunity but no clarity squanders his chance. But the man with unshakable purpose will carve a way through impossibility itself. So stop drifting, stop wandering, stop living by chance. Decide today what you stand for. Decide what your life will mean. Decide what mountain you will climb, and then climb it with everything in you. The world does not reward confusion. The world rewards the clear, the focused, the committed. Clarity of purpose is not optional. It is survival. Without it, you waste your years. With it, you multiply your life. So burn the fog. Declare your purpose. Focus on it with unshakable discipline. Protect it with sacrifice. And pursue it with relentless persistence until the world knows your name, not because you wandered, but because you knew exactly where you were going and refused to stop. Clarity of purpose is the fire. Let it burn in you until nothing can stand in your way. Persistence above all, because nothing in this world can stop the man or woman who refuses to quit. Talent will fail without it. Intelligence will crumble without it. Opportunity will slip away without it. Persistence is the iron law that separates those who dream from those who achieve. You can be defeated 100 times, but if you rise the 101st, you cannot be broken. The truth is simple. The world does not care how many times you fall. It cares only whether you rise again. Life will test you. It will strike you down. It will close doors, throw obstacles, and surround you with doubt. Most people surrender there. They give up after the first rejection, the first failure, the first taste of discomfort. But persistence is different. Persistence looks at defeat and says, "You are temporary." Persistence walks through storms with unshaken determination, knowing that nothing is permanent, except the one who refuses to give up. History proves it. Every great success was born through relentless persistence. Every invention, every empire, every breakthrough came from someone who was told no, who failed repeatedly, who suffered setback after setback, but who kept moving. The genius who created light failed thousands of times before he succeeded once. The leaders who built nations were knocked down endlessly, yet they rose with greater strength each time. Persistence is the heartbeat of achievement. Without it, nothing survives. You must understand, failure is not your enemy. Quitting is. Failure is feedback. It teaches you, refines you, toughens you. Quitting ends the story before success can arrive. The graveyards are filled with people who had potential, who had talent, who had dreams, but who lacked persistence. They let one rejection destroy them. They let one disappointment define them. Do not join them. Refuse to die with your song still inside you. Persistence means committing long after the excitement fades. Anyone can start with energy. Anyone can push for a week, a month, even a year. But persistence is measured in decades. It is measured in the discipline to show up every single day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of who supports you, regardless of how long it takes. Success is never owned, it is rented. And rent is due every single day. Persistence is paying that rent without fail. There will be moments when your vision feels impossible, when progress is invisible, when doubt screams louder than hope. Those moments are the crucible of greatness. They are designed to test you, to see if you truly want what you say you want. Persistence is the answer. It is the voice inside that says, "I will not stop, I will not bow, I will not quit, no matter what stands before me." Persistence is not glamorous. It is grinding when no one applauds. It is sacrificing when no one notices. It is repeating the process day after day, while others laugh, while others rest, while others quit. But understand this, persistence guarantees results. The world may ignore you for years, but it cannot ignore consistency forever. Sooner or later, your results will be too loud to deny. Look at your own life. How many times have you started something and quit too soon? How many goals were abandoned because they did not come fast enough? How many dreams were buried because you let temporary defeat become permanent surrender? If you had persisted, where would you be now? That question should burn in your soul. Let it fuel you. Let it remind you that persistence is the one choice that changes everything. Do not expect the path to be smooth. Expect resistance. Expect rejection. Expect hardship. But also expect victory if you persist long enough. Success belongs not to the smartest, not to the strongest, but to the most relentless. The one who refuses to quit eventually outlasts everyone who does. That is the law. That is why persistence above all is the true secret of success. So decide today, nothing will break you. Not failure, not rejection, not loneliness, not time. Decide that persistence is your identity. Tie it so deeply into your being that quitting becomes impossible. Make it your creed, your habit, your standard. And when life knocks you down, rise faster each time. When the world says no, knock again. When doors close, break them open. When you run out of strength, crawl forward if you must, but never stop moving, because in the end, persistence is the bridge between where you are and where you dream to be. Without it, you stay stranded forever. With it, you cross into a life most only imagine. Persistence above all, because nothing else matters if you quit. Be relentless. Be unshakable. Be unstoppable. And let the world see what happens when a human being refuses to surrender. Your reward is built in silence. The world may not clap for you today. No one may see your grind. No one may notice your sacrifices. But the work you are doing in silence is shaping the reward you will one day hold in your hands. Success is not built in the spotlight. It is built in the shadows, when no one is watching, when no one is cheering, when only discipline keeps you moving forward. Most people crave recognition too soon. They want applause before they have earned results. They want praise for effort instead of proof. That hunger for validation is the trap that kills greatness. Because the truth is this: the world only respects results, not intentions. You can talk all day, you can show off effort, you can make noise about your grind, but noise without results is empty. The reward belongs to those who work quietly, patiently, relentlessly until the results speak louder than any words ever could. The seed grows in silence. Buried beneath the soil, unseen by the world, it is building roots. No one claps for it, no one notices. But that silent process is essential, because without strong roots, no tree survives. Your journey is the same. Your foundation must be built in silence, discipline, habits, persistence, patience. These are not glamorous, they are not praised. But they are the roots that will hold you steady when success finally rises into the light. Silence is your ally. In silence, there is no distraction, no comparison, no competition. In silence, you hear your own vision clearly. You sharpen your focus. You discipline your emotions. The loud world outside, full of opinions and judgment, weakens most people because they seek constant approval. But you must rise above that weakness. Let your silence be your fortress. Protect your work from noise until it is ready to be revealed. Your reward does not need to be announced. It needs to be earned. Too many waste their energy broadcasting their plans, telling the world what they will achieve instead of doing the work. Every minute spent talking is a minute stolen from action. Talk less. Do more. Let your results be your announcement. When you arrive with proof so undeniable that no one can question you. That is power. The greatest achievers lived this truth. They were silent workers, consistent grinders, building when the world